love so deep it shakes the sky. Mountains bow and oceans cry. A gift so pure it can't be bought. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all. The stars they shine to light the way through every night into the day. Grace unending calls your name. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all. The stars they shine to light the way through every night into the day. Grace unending calls your name. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all. Through the valleys, through the storm, a love like this will keep you warm. No greater gift, no greater call. He gave it all, He gave it all. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all. Love so deep it shakes the sky. Mountains bow and oceans cry. A gift so pure it can't be bought. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all. The stars they shine to light the way through every night into the day. Grace unending calls your name. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all. The stars they shine to light the way through every night into the day. Grace unending calls your name. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all. Through the valleys, through the storm, a love like this will keep you warm. No greater gift, no greater call. He gave it all, He gave it all. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all.
Burned out on the throne, ain't no kings but the Lord. Gold melts in the fire, every crown gets ignored. They're building double towers, but the bricks start to crack. Spirit blowing like a hurricane, flipping the stack. The meek hold the power, got the keys to the earth. Caesar wanted taxes, but the kingdom made his turf. Fishing nets in the water, bread breaking in the hands. Flip the tables in the temple, freedom ain't in the plans. Anarchy in the spirit, chains can't bind. Freedom in the blood, Christ rewrites the design. No rulers, no masters, just love divine. Through the Holy Ghost, chaos refines. No flags in the Christ tore the curtain, Holy Spirit invades. Not a throne, not a chain, not a whip, not a cage. Anarchy, eternal, Spirit's flame won't fade. Anarchy in the spirit. Anarchy in the spirit. Anarchy in the spirit. Mountains rise, they try to stand tall, but I walk steady, I won't fall. Through shadows deep, I hear the call. Every step I take, it's clear. Grace surrounds me, no need for fear. I can do all things through Him when the light grows dim. Through the fire, through the rain, to live is Christ, to die is gain. Winds may howl, storms may roar, yet my heart beats evermore. For I know what I'm living for. Winds may howl, storms may roar, yet my heart beats evermore. For I know what I'm living for. Chains can break, walls can crumble, even when the ground may rumble. Hope remains, it won't be shaken. A promise made, never forsaken. Every step I take, it's clear. Grace surrounds me, no need for fear. I can do all things through Him when the light grows dim. Through the fire, through the rain, to live as Christ, to die is gain. Winds may howl, storms may roar, yet my heart beats evermore. Through I know what I'm living for. Hills may howl, storms may roar, yet my heart beats evermore. Through the fire, through the rain, to live is Christ, to die is gain. Winds may howl, storms may roar, yet my heart beats evermore. For I know what I'm living for. Chains can break, walls can crumble, even when the ground may rumble. Hope remains, it won't be shaken. A promise made, never forsaken. I can do all things through Him when the light grows dim. Fight through the rain, to live is Christ, to die is gain. Welcome to the place where faith takes flight, where hearts align in the Savior's light. A legacy of love built strong and true. The path of grace begins with you. The legacy ride, a journey we share. Through every trial, God's always there. Together we stand in His holy sight, guided by truth and the legacy right. The legacy right, that journey we share. Through every trial, God's always there. Together we stand in His holy sight, guided by truth and the legacy right. We share it through every trial, God's always there. Together we stand in His holy sight, guided by truth and the legacy right.
Straight out of Venezuela, dropping knowledge like a wizard. Got the free market flowing out here like a blizzard. Economics ain't no damn car, you misled. Invisible hand, got your theory looking dead. From the depths of triumph, I rise with the wrath. Proletariat unite, we finna change the path. Capinomics chains wrap tight, gotta smash. Revolution brewing, Mises, you turn to ash. Battle of the lines, ideologies clash. Capital versus labor, riches on the stash. Economic titans, who's the real king? In this rap battle, let the theory sing. Battle of the minds, ideologies clash. Capital versus labor, riches on the stash. Economic titans, who's the real king? In this rap battle, let the theory sing. Calculation problem, communism's blind. Prices signal knowledge, you'll find. Central planning fails, economies crash. Free trade rise and watch the market splash. Dialectic material, history unfolds. Bourgeois illusions crumble, truth unfolds. Class struggle, real people's power has grown. Seize the means reign, we reclaim the throne. Battle of the minds, ideologies clash. Capital versus labor, riches on the stash. Economic titans, who's the real king? In this rap battle, let the theory sing.
Welcome to a brand new wave, drowning out the noise it's tame. Liberty whispers through the brave, breaking free from every chain. Nullify the rules they crave, crypto beats that pave the way. Anarchy with minds that's safe, algorithms new dawn today. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride. Beyond control we take a stand, casting off the iron brand. Freedom flowing through our hands, revolution's our command. Decentralize the way we plan, all together we expand. Breaking shackles for the clan, in this journey we're on pan. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride. Love so deep it shakes the sky, mountains bow and oceans cry. Gift so pure it can't be bought. grace unending calls your name. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all. Through the valleys, through the storm, a love like this will keep you warm. No greater gift, no greater call. He gave it all. He gave it all. For God so loved the world, He gave His only Son. Believe and never fall, eternal life for all.
Burn down every throne, ain't no kings but the Lord. Gold melts in the fire, every crown is ignored. They're building double towers, but the bricks start to crack. Spirit blowing like a hurricane, flipping the stack. The meek hold the power, got the keys to the birth. Caesar want the taxes, but the kingdom ain't his turf. Fishing nets and the water bread breaking in the hands. Flip the tables in the temple, freedom ain't in the plans. Spirit key in the spirit, chains can't bind. Freedom in the blood, Christ rewrites the design. No rulers, no masters, just love divine. Through the Holy Ghost, chaos refines. No flags in the kingdom, no borders to divide. Lamb meets the flock, not a sword by his side. They talk about control, but the power's a fraud. You can't cage your soul when it's free under God. Holy fire burning, purify the scene. The last will be first, yeah, you know what I mean. The spirit ain't a system, can't box what it does. It's a revolution dripping with agape love. Flip the script, turn the page, every law man made. Christ tore the curtain, Holy Spirit invades. Not a throne, not a chain, not a whip, not a cage. Anarchy eternal, spirit's flame won't fade. Anarchy in the spirit. The anarchy in the spirit. Anarchy in the spirit. Mountains rise, they try to stand tall, but I walk steady, I won't fall. Through shadows deep, I hear the call. Every step I take, it's clear. Grace surrounds me, no need for fear. I can do all things through Him when the light grows dim. Through the fire, through the rain, to live is Christ, to die is gain. Winds may howl, storms may roar, yet my heart beats evermore. For I know what I'm living for. Winds may howl, storms may roar, yet my heart beats evermore. For I know what I'm living for. Chains can break, walls can crumble, even when the ground may rumble. Hope remains, it won't be shaken. A promise made, never forsaken. Every step I take, it's clear. Grace surrounds me, no need for fear. I can do all things through Him when the light grows dim. Through the fire, through the rain, to live as Christ, to die is gain. Winds may howl, storms may roar, yet my heart beats evermore. Through I know what I'm living for. Hills may howl, storms may roar, yet my heart beats evermore. Through the fire, for I know what I'm living for. Chains can break, walls can crumble, even when the ground may rumble. Hope remains, it won't be shaken, a promise made, never forsaken. I can do all things through Him. When the light grows dim, fight through the rain, to live is Christ and not His gain.
Straight out of Venezuela, dropping knowledge like a wizard. Got the free market flowing out here like a blizzard. Economics ain't no damn car, you misled. Invisible hand, got your theory looking dead. From the depths of triumph, I rise with the wrath. Proletariat unite, we finna change the path. Capinomics chains wrap tight, gotta smash. Revolution brewing, Mises, you turn to ash. Battle of the lines, ideologies clash. Capital versus labor, riches on the stash. Economic titans, who's the real king? In this rap battle, let the theory sing. Battle of the minds, ideologies clash. Capital versus labor, riches on the stash. Economic titans, who's the real king? In this rap battle, let the theory sing. Calculation problem, communism's blind. Prices signal knowledge, you'll find. Central planet fails, economies crash. Free trade rise and watch the market splash. Dialectic material, history unfolds. Bourgeois losers crumble, truth unfolds. Class struggle, real people's power has grown. Seize the means, reign, we reclaim the throne. Battle of the minds, ideologies clash. Capital versus labor, riches on the stash. Economic titans, who's the real king? In this rap battle, let the theory sing.
Welcome to the place where faith takes flight, where hearts align in the Savior's light. A legacy of love built strong and true. The path of grace begins with you. The legacy ride, a journey we share. Through every trial, God's always there. Together we stand in His holy sight, guided by truth and the legacy right. The legacy right, that journey we share. Through every trial, God's always there. Together we stand in His holy sight, guided by truth and the legacy right. We share through every trial, God's always there. Together we stand in His holy sight, guided by truth and the legacy right.
Welcome to a brand new wave, drowning out the noise that's tame. Liberty whispers through the brave, breaking free from every chain. nullify the rules they crave. Crypto beats that pave the way. Anarchy with minds that safe. Algorithms new dawn today. Out of bounds and out of sight. Building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride. Beyond control we take a stand. Casting off the iron brand. Freedom flowing through our hands. Revolution's our command. Decentralize the way we plan. All together we expand. Breaking shackles for the clan. In this journey we're unpanned. Out of bounds and out of sight. Building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride.
Welcome. Happy Monday, everybody. I told you there would only be a special event live, and here I am live. I hope you enjoyed the music while I was away. I figured it was a little bit something. I could get some things done. Then you don't have to listen to me and Andrew babble. Andrew's not here anyways. He had some business to attend. So it's probably best to not even have to deal with me. Shall we get into it? The moment that you were all waiting for. What we are continuing from Friday's Weekly Legacy. Michael Malice versus the police. What do you think about the police? Shall I allow you to ponder what the police means to you as I jump into the video? It's very, very difficult to do this on my own. Let's jump into it. And maybe there'll be some stops, or maybe I'll just let it play so you don't have to listen to me or see my face. Let's get into it.
We've had two.
No,
ladies.
that's the waitress, guys. That's
Well, give it up for the waitress as well. Is Madeline here? I don't even. Did I see it? Is that her? Ooh, look at her.
Right over here,
coming
right over
down.
here.
Yeah, right over there.
Come on over.
Go to the homeless-looking M&M, Madeline.
Yeah.
Stand on this nice ominous X we have on the floor here. You have 1 minute.
I'm not sure what my question is.
Wait, what?
Well, you got anything for us?
Why did you put your name in the bucket?
Well, I told them all to.
I didn't.
Listen, have
Dante
you ever been
did.
pulled over by a cop before and not know what the fuck was going on? Now is your time to ask that question. He's right here. Tell him how you feel.
Tell me how I feel. Yeah.
Tell him how small his dick is.
It's like a thimble.
Tell him how he has to do this job because he has a propensity. Oh, big word for violence.
Okay. So I guess my question for Michael is, how are police a necessary evil as they enforce our freedom and they help us keep our freedom?
Wait, I don't understand the question.
Why are police a necessary evil?
I was saying for the sake of this debate.
Before Michael comes on and says his answer, I'll answer that actually. Why are police a necessary evil? They're not necessary at all. Why can't we enforce what is right and just on our own realm, within our own community, for our own families, for our own personal protection up on our property? If you don't have property, then your community. Why can't we Why do we have to have these agents of the state whom we barely know, will never know, and God knows what they're really all about? Just another gang. Why would you would you feel it necessary for the Bloods or the Crips? Okay, bad example. The Crips actually were enforcing. Anyways, would you feel it necessary for a street gang to do what the police are doing? To protect and to serve a community and enforce laws. What is the law, anyways? How do we attain these laws? We have too many laws in the books, many of which are victimless, and many of which are civil and revenue sharing more than anything. Let's see what Michael has to say.
I'll say the police are necessary evil because people are of the belief, and I'm not going to argue against that today, that but for the police, we would have like 2020 with 24/7.
So you're avoiding my question?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't understand the question, to be honest. Which part? Wait, what part are you confused about? The necessary part or the evil part?
A necessary evil. I think they're necessary, and I don't think they're doing anything that goes against what Americans do believe in.
Okay. A lot of Americans believe in stupid things. A lot of Americans thought that if you stand
Right.
6 feet apart, you can't get your disease, which makes absolutely no sense, right? A lot of Americans, 48% of them, thought Officer Harris would be a great president. I strongly disagree. And half of those people would be on your jury if you were facing one. So keep that in mind if you're going to fight a charge.
She's a
Okay,
retard.
so-
98% on your jury in D.C.
Well, sure, in D.C., right? Yeah,
You're
yeah,
going
okay.
to prison.
Yeah, you're going to prison. As to why they're an evil, the point is, if someone is a sociopath, as I think all politicians are, and you take it as your job, I'm not a sociopath, I'm just going to do whatever they tell me to do, that's not the actions of a moral person. That's the actions of someone who's handed over their conscience to people who they know are evil, or may not know are evil human.
That's the actions of somebody who is a moron. Do we want morons running around, everybody? I don't want morons running around freely to do whatever they want. Taking orders from sociopaths, psychopaths, and pedophiles. Just saying.
beings.
Well, I think police officers take the job because they think they're doing something to help people.
That's true. I think a lot of them, but just, you know what? Here's another example, the military. A lot of people, and probably some in this room, join the military because they think, okay, I want to protect my country. I want to, help my community. I want to keep America free and safe. And that's very commendable. And then many people in the military are like, what the fuck am I doing here? I was completely lied to. But the thing is, you can't quit the military because you're going to get court-martialed, possibly go to jail, but you could quit the police force at any time. And how many of them walked during COVID? Very, very few. They were more than happy to tell you, fuck you, you're not going to be able to say goodbye to your loved ones because I need my paycheck.
All right, thank you, Madeline. Now our next person, give it up for Madeline, everybody. Now our next guy, I like this already, Joey Cannoli. Joey
Yeah!
Cannoli.
The
Come
worst
on down.
dessert.
Let's go, Joey. Where you
He
at?
called in on the show.
Everybody likes
Yeah.
sugar
Calls in a bit.
cheese.
All right, Joe, you got 1 minute, bro.
Another flat brim.
Yo,
can't
what
see
the
anything.
fuck is up, Tim Cass?
Go.
So I've been thinking about how how laws are ridiculous. I think the laws literally only exist so the government can come after normal citizens.
I'm okay with this guy so far.
Because every time like a politician or a big corporation breaks a fucking law, like you have to have like a grocery list of things to go after them for. But when it's a normal citizen knocking over a fence at the Capitol, they will fucking track you down.
What was the question?
There is no question. I'm making a statement.
Hell yeah.
Come on down, Joey. Come on down for 3 minutes. Hurry, get your ass down here.
All right, guys, give it up for Joey. He's
Give it
going
up
up.
for Joey. All right, Joey.
You know,
Get on the mic.
there was a report that I've sent before from 2005. I think it was.
Is that Joey?
City,
That's
Yeah.
Joey
Okay. Hey,
Cannoli.
nice to meet you.
Citigroup said that we live in a plutonomy where the interests of the public don't matter. And if the majority of the people said something should be illegal, politicians don't give a shit. But if around 30% of wealthy individuals decide it's illegal, it will be. So big corporations, politicians, powerful unions never get held accountable. But regular people will get tossed in jail for jaywalking.
Two-tier justice system, yeah.
Which brings me back to my original point: don't wear Crocs.
Oh, these aren't Crocs.
If you
Joey,
only-
what do you got for us, Joey?
I'm just thinking about like how it's wild how we need like to come up with these big laundry lists of things to arrest some politicians or corporate leaders on because they constantly break the law all the fucking time.
Here's why it's not the cops' fault necessarily.
Oh, I don't care about
because
the cops.
Stop the fucking presses.
Yep, if the politicians passed the law to stop the presses, the cops would be more than happy to enforce it.
Yeah, of
They have
course.
no respect for any amendments, including the first or the
Well,
second,
well,
because the First Amendment also included the right to peaceably assemble, and that was never enforced during COVID.
I got to stop you there, Michael, because you're wrong. The police had no problem during COVID enforcing things that weren't even laws.
Oh, that's correct. Sure. In fact, you and I got into an argument on your show because I was calling something a law. You're like, "Shut up! No, it's not a law. It's a, what was it? Like an edict."
Which one? I don't know. Probably.
Governor from New York. She had some kind of Kathy Hochul.
Kathy
She had some kind of ruling,
Right.
And you're like, "It's not a law. Stop calling it a law."
Fucking
It was
right.
not even a level of law.
She
No.
just decreed.
Decreed. Yeah.
Decree.
Yeah.
And the cops were like, you got it.
So the point I was making with Joey's
got it,
point
boss.
is, wealthy people will always have better access to justice because they're going to have better lawyers. And there's nothing you can do around it unless you go full communist and just have everyone have a shitty
Oh,
lawyer.
bro, it gets better than that. They don't even need the lawyers.
That's true,
Sometimes
too. Yeah.
when the prosecutors find out they're going up against a guy with millions of dollars, they say, are we going to be able to win this?
Yeah.
Why are we going to waste the resources?
So that's like part of the problem is that like there's no enforcement wing against people who have a lot of assets and wealth. There's almost nothing.
Unless it's a public spectacle.
Yes, unless it's something like they can like actually, like if, for example, Donald Trump, like they would obviously he's trying to go at the system, so of course they're.
That is why me and Andrew are very tantamount on trying to advocate for going where you. I'm on the spot, everybody. I'm all on my own. Seeking where you will be treated best. Go where you're treated best. Build your wealth as best as you can. Find the exit, leave, and go elsewhere where you will be treated best, where you can practice your negative rights peaceably, and if you have to, and it's easier, bribe the law. That ain't happening for us plebes here. But if you can build your wealth enough to get the fuck out, you can find somewhere that you can actually go live in peace and be left the fuck alone. Always choose the exit. That's my philosophy. Whenever you get a chance, choose the exit to go find somewhere new that you can take advantage so that you can actually live by your own personal negative rights.
Going to try to do all they can.
What if we just got rid of the rich people and took all their stuff and distributed it evenly among everybody?
Well, no, he has a good point though. well, I want to say my very good friend Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. We love him, but he got famous after he went to prison. If he would have gotten famous before and he had the money to actually fight in his case with a good criminal defense attorney, his outcome would have been totally different.
And he almost got pardoned by Trump.
Oh, come on. He needs to get pardoned. Trump pardoned Joe Exotic. You let Kodak Black out.
Hold on. But he didn't get pardoned because he had money. He got pardoned because he was in the public sector. That's different than money.
Oh, they're going to say
Were you
black.
talking about Kodak Black?
But this is a good
Joe
point.
Exotic hasn't been pardoned. We need him to get pardoned.
This is a good point you bring up, though, Rich. Currency isn't just cash. There's
All right,
social
get out of
currency
here,
as
Joey.
well.
Thank you, guys. Give it up for Joey.
Free Joe Exotic.
Joe.
All right.
One of the cultural issues that I think is a big problem is people who have large followings get what they want from corporations, from governments, because they can create fear of public pressure.
All right, so to kind of go against what he was saying, where he's like, everybody that's got a bunch of money gets arrested, but they get away with it. A lot of people with no money get arrested and get away with it.
It's true.
If you go to New York State, specifically the city of Buffalo, the one that I police, the amount of people that get picked up with illegal firearms, not to say that they're carrying concealed in a legal manner. I'm saying like people that do it in like for drug sales, for other illegal activities, parts of gangs. Their intent is to shoot another person, right? The amount of people that get youthful offender status, juvenile offender status, and have the second or third or fourth gun thrown away because they're from a socio-economical people, and
It's called the
we don't
Second Amendment.
understand No. I'm saying because of crimes they committed, not because they're
I see what you're
carrying
saying,
it.
okay.
I'm saying specifically because of gang violence, honing in just on gang violence and drug activity. The amount of people that have no money that get public defenders, where the prosecutor's office, the district attorney's office is like, there's too fucking many of them. We're gonna drop down there. I put a gun to a guy's head and said, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and then the cop showed up and stopped him, and we're gonna knock it down to attempted assault. So many thousands more than Enron, who eventually got caught.
You can take everything you said to the bank as gospel because it's completely true. And that's really, really scary because if everyone in this room, I was just naive. I thought if something happens to me, I go to DA and they're going to pursue it. And the amount of crimes, like actual like indisputable crimes that
On video.
that DAs pursue is such a small number.
Correct.
So it's this justice system is just there as a wealth extraction mechanism for the people in government. It is not there to keep you safe. Please carry and have a firearm.
So the funny thing about all of this is that I could be wrong.
You
Rich,
lost me at wealth extraction, but okay.
correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that if every single person who went before a judge on a crime requested a jury trial, the system would implode.
Because it takes a lot of time. You
And
have to
it's
do
impossible.
you do a lot of stuff. And to quote Officer Law Enforcement, yes, some of these people are made up of people that are inside of your community, which are dumb. And a specific example is we had a gang rape on video, Facebook live streamed, and of a special needs girl who was 16. The video of it, and 5 guys were involved. 2 of them were juveniles, and the kidnapping was thrown out, or I'm sorry, the rape was thrown out, but the kidnapping stood because one person thought that even though she was kidnapped, she could still consent to sex. I'm 100% serious. One person thought that even though you're kidnapped, you can still consent to sex. So that person would not go forward with the rape charges of the 5 people that raped a special needs girl on camera with her crying, "No, stop, that hurts."
I'm starting to hate human beings again.
It's pretty easy to.
All right, AK Roman Nation. AK
Progressivism for the win.
Roman Nation. Let's go. Come on down. What do you got for us, AK?
And from AK Nation, I like very much to put people against wall. Wall knows justice.
All right, brother, you got 1 minute.
Sir. What's going on, guys?
I can't see anything.
What's up?
I heard that.
You don't have to ask us how we're doing. We've been together for the past hour. You know how we're doing. We've been arguing. Just come up here, ask a question, or debate us. Let's go.
Gotcha. All right. So from 17 to 31, I was pulled over 22 times.
Jesus.
All right. Yeah. So.
Are you black?
Yeah, I can't tell. Are you black, sir?
Maybe. I mean.
He's not. So that
I
means
might have
we're
to get a
equal.
paternity test, but so I don't understand. So 7.
Oh,
of
he's
those-
Asian. That's why he's bad at driving.
All right, so 7 of those times were because I was just being stupid. I was young, speeding, running through stop signs, things like that. But I never really got an explanation from all of the rest of them. So my question is, what is the legal process in which law enforcement can pull you over? And second, this is kind of like off on the side, the scanning of a license plate of an individual who is not committing a crime, is that a violation of your Fourth Amendment right?
All right.
Come on up, sir.
Come on up, AK. That's good. Give
Give it up for AK.
You can answer it.
All right, I'll go first. All right, so the reason why you're given a ticket, the explanation is on the ticket. Here's the ticket. This is what you're ticketed for. There's the explanation. They may not have said it to you in person, which is odd. Normally, I would do that as a courtesy, but it's on the ticket. When they give you the ticket, there's the reason why they stopped you. For the I scan your plate or I type down your license plate without pulling you over or having anything prior to. The license plate in New York State and all other states is owned by the state. You're renting the plate from the state. The state is the state, or the plate is the state's property. So I, as a representative of the law enforcement agency within that state, can then run it. And if you are if the registration is suspended, or there's no inspection, or the inspection expired, or a large thing is that car or the registration that comes back is stolen,
right?
Then I can, pull it over. So anybody that would like to say, if you run the plate without them doing anything, that's bad and illegal, I would then ask you, well, how are we supposed to catch stolen vehicles when the registered owner puts that plate out as stolen?
Yeah. Now, are they legally that they're supposed to tell you why they pulled you over, right?
Oh, you're black.
I knew this was coming.
So there's a time and a place. Because you get pulled over doesn't mean you get to demand that they tell you right then and there for the reason of the stop. And like I said, in the most extreme situation, if they don't say anything, then the ticket that they give you is the reason for the stop, which normally they would explain and say, here's a ticket, it's for speeding, you can choose guilty or not guilty, here's how you do it.
Right. Now, so go ahead.
Quick follow-up question, honest question. What would happen if I got pulled over and just kept my window rolled up and said nothing?
The sovereign citizen kind of.
No. Just literally, I remained silent. I won't talk to you, and I just sat there and did nothing.
Yeah, somebody said that. So on body cam. So when you're stopped by police in New York State, because I can speak for that because I know that you are required to show identification and your license for traveling on New York State throughways, thoroughfares in the city, etc., because tax dollars paid for the city's roads, the state's thoroughfares, etc. So if I pull you over and you refuse to answer any questions, that's one thing. If you keep the window rolled up and refuse to show ID, which is required of you, and you sign an agreement when you take your driver's test and get your ID, then it would be obstruction, and I could arrest you for obstruction. So, likely, most states, though, obstruction is a lesser violation charge. So I might break out your window and tow your car, or break out your window and pull you out, but then I would give you a violation level ticket.
So a person could, if they get pulled over, crack their window a little bit. When you walk up, just hand the license, insurance, or registration, and then say nothing, and that's all they have to do?
To quote officer from the law enforcement, all you have to do is provide your ID. So you can crack the window and hand it to them. Keep your hands up on the wheel so the officer doesn't feel freaked out. Yep. Say nothing.
Can you slap it on the glass with your finger up?
You can.
Just a question.
You can.
All right.
So are you
I would, though, however, I would like to get that ID in my hand because people can fake IDs.
Okay.
So the officer
they want to have it in their
we want to have it in our hands. And
Is
if
that
you want to
legal?
go, what's that?
Is that like a lore?
A requirement?
I don't
Can
know.
I argue?
Driving a car, you
Can
have
I
to
argue
have
that
it.
you can see it from
No,
here?
but you have to hand it over.
So that would be something you'd have to fight in in the courts, right?
So it's not worth it.
It's not worth it because the legal requirement for me to say, I don't know if that ID is fake.
Right.
He's just showing me a photo ID. I want to hold it in my hands. I want to check and make sure it's a valid ID.
That'd be the same as if somebody didn't have their ID and you had to give them some kind of information, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah, right.
Can I say something, or are you going to yell at me again? No, I meant Tim. Tim yelled at me, not you.
Me?
Yeah,
No, we didn't yell at you.
Okay.
Alex yelled at
Let's
Yeah, I was just trying to, get the show going.
hold on. When I was a kid, because I'm the oldest person probably on this platform.
Probably not, but anyway.
Because I'm an ancient evil from times immemorial. People used to sneeze in their hands, and then you shake hands, and people get sick. And then there was a big campaign, hey, sneeze into your elbow, and everyone's like, oh shit, why are we sneezing into our hands, right? So my point is, everyone thinks speeding tickets are just something you do, but if you stop and think about it, it makes no sense. Because what speeding tickets are a way to fuck over poor people and a way to get money for the government. If I'm a danger, like if I'm a DUI, you pull me over, I shouldn't be driving.
Hey, you
So,
know,
hold on,
who
let me finish.
agreed? Hitler. He did in the Autobahn. They had no speed limits.
Still got
Great
that. It's pretty
contribution,
awesome.
Alex.
But they did. I'm saying.
Hitler was right about you.
Well, you could drive as fast as you wanted, so you agree with Hitler,
Point
right?
being, if I'm wealthy, the speed ticket's not going to matter. But if I'm extremely poor, that $100 is going to make a big difference one way or another. And it's very fucked up. What is going on here?
I don't know.
It's very fucked up that this is something that happens, and there's no other situation where they just give you a ticket.
Maybe we could take all the money from the rich people and then evenly distribute it out to everybody.
Or maybe if someone commits a crime that's not hurting anyone or is actually just threatening people, you give them a warning enough times, you're not allowed to drive. But the ticket in this situation is only ways to regressively tax the poorest.
Speeding is potentially hurting somebody.
Everything's potentially hurting somebody.
Well, okay, that's a good fucking argument. asshole.
But hold on, but there are certain countries though that
I
do
take
that on the
shits
tier
and those
system.
potentially hurt somebody.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to say a great point. Go ahead. I know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying.
So
Go ahead.
there are certain countries, I believe some Scandinavian countries that have it on a tier system. So
That-
so
yeah.
the tickets are based off of how much you make.
That's bad.
That makes
Yeah.
more sense.
Oh,
Communism.
It makes a hell of a lot more sense.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
That's communism.
All right, guys, give it up for AK Roma. Thank you, AK.
His hand's so sweaty.
All right, Steven Sharper or Steven Shapper. Is that what it is? Steven Shapper, I see you over there. Come on down. Let's go, guys. Give it up
William
for
Shatner.
Steven.
Give it up, everybody.
Hurry. Thank you.
It would be
Steve.
nice to give a speeding ticket to somebody in an Aston Martin and for them to be like, fuck, instead of, I'll pay this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parking tickets too. In Chicago at Wrigley Field, people intentionally double park because a $50 parking ticket is
Right.
cheaper than parking.
Yeah.
It's just a fee.
I
I
feel
used
like
to get-
parking is different than speeding.
For
though.
sure, but it's
I used to get tickets for being on a train in Australia without having a ticket because I didn't want to buy a ticket. And when they would give me the ticket, I would act like it wasn't a lot of money, but it was. But I was just trying to like piss them off.
You look like a guy that really likes trains.
Yeah.
The term is trainable.
If anybody,
how did you take that? Autism.
All right, Steven, what do you got for us, brother?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Don't ask us that, okay?
I'm gonna ask you
Whatever you have to say your point or debate. You see how we're doing. We're up here trying to do a damn show.
Is Alex a cop?
Kind of. I'm the show cop. I'm trying to make this thing run.
All this rage.
smoothly.
Okay. Here's the question, right? All right. So since we have kind of varying opinions here up on the stage, what would reorganization of different police departments, such as the NYCPD, look like? So that way it more aligns with societal norms, i.e., more federalization, more bringing it down to the basic levels of the bureaus, or is it just too far gone and we just got to replace everybody with big booty Latinas?
Yeah, we love that. That made no sense because you said NYCP. You mean NYPD, right?
We all understood.
Okay, I didn't. I don't. New York Citizens Patrol. or
You
something?
know what NYCPD means?
CPD means
I
my
know what
butthole
CP
shoots out
means,
shit, doesn't
yeah,
it?
Frankly, if the NYPD or the NYCPD was doing like how I would like it, there'd be a lot fewer politicians around, if you know what I mean.
Oh. Okay, our next person. Yeah, that question sucked. Go sit down.
That's all right.
Donnie Dossie. Who's Donnie Dossie? Donnie, you here?
Oh, that was
Donnie.
quick. He's already here.
Awesome. All right, Donnie, you got a minute. What's up, brother?
All right.
How we doing?
See, I'm not going to ask that question.
I'm asking you. How you doing?
How am I doing? You know, I'm having a freaking
Don't
blast.
answer
Everybody knows I'm having a blast.
Ah!
All right.
Exactly.
It's not
All right, so here's the deal. I'm shitty with names, so I'm pointing at porn stash cop guy.
There's two porn
right.
stash
Which
cops.
porn stash cop?
Okay. All right. Not you. You got the and I are on the same page. We got the bald head. We're there. All right. So I heard you earlier. All right. So I think everybody can agree here that we've all encountered an asshole cop or two in our lifetimes.
I have. I
All
work
right.
with enough.
But for the most part, cops really aren't that bad. They're not assholes.
Don't.
Now, I'm hearing Porn Stash sitting here saying that no cops are ever held accountable. However, I would argue that's not true, especially when we have cops that are being held accountable for merely following their trainings, such as Derek Chauvin.
Derek Chauvin was not held accountable. Derek Chauvin was railroaded.
I agree, he's railroaded, but they call it accountability. But besides, I really wanted to get
Didn't he
to
get murdered
Alex. I really wanted to get to Alex here.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
what?
even murder
Alex,
is crazy.
Alex.
Yeah.
Yes, Donnie.
So you were asking him if he felt guilty about conducting interviews or whatever after reading them rights and whatnot.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. You're amazing in what you do.
I know.
I'm kissing your ass right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm no-
Do you feel bad? Do you feel bad about being better at your job than other people are theirs?
Yeah, actually I do because
do?
I'm empathetic because I'm a superstar and I see some of these other people, and I feel like then you guys will never know what it's like to live in space with me and the aliens. What the fuck? Wait, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to troll me right now, dude? All right.
Here's
what
my
are you
point.
trying to do?
Here's my point. Here's my point. I work in sales. He works as a cop. His job is to get suspects to speak. The suspect's job is to not speak. Should he feel bad about being better at his job than the suspect is at theirs?
Yes, because the suspect's an average person.
Yeah,
We're all average people.
No, we're not. Speak for yourself, buddy.
Hey,
I guess let me answer
And I don't
the
think you're
question.
average.
Right, and there's been probably not.
I'm above
one-
average. I appreciate it.
There's
Thank you.
and tell me if I'm wrong, Rich. There's probably been not one example of a time where you told the guy, "Hey, stop talking to me and get a lawyer." Have you ever said that? Have you Mirandaized somebody and said, "You know what? Actually, don't talk to me. Your best interest would be say I need a lawyer." Have you ever gave?
No.
And a cop never would, but that would be. Fuck. Wouldn't that always be the best option, not to talk to a cop?
It depends. If you're a suspect, probably your best thing. If you're a
That's your
subject,
best thing,
and
yes.
you
Yeah,
could
well, if
help
you're a
out the
victim, you
investigation.
talk to a cop. I'm talking about just if you're a suspect. If you're being considered as they want to charge you with a crime, it never benefits you to talk to a cop. 0% of the time. And this is what they say. And this is Rich will say. They say, oh, you know what? You need it to be, if you're good to us now, oh, we're going to tell the judge and the DA, and they're going to take it easy on you. The judge and DA don't give a fuck. They don't give.
I'm going to agree. You shouldn't be talking to cops without lawyers. But at the same time, I'm not going to say that he's doing a bad job by
He's not doing
convincing
a bad
people to
job.
speak.
That's the problem. I said it's the honest cops who are the ones who are the problem, not the corrupt ones. There are few corrupt ones. It's the honest ones who are the problem.
Yeah, that is
Few
true.
corrupt ones. I appreciate
stole a girl's
that.
bike once because I needed it. There was no more trains. It was the only bike I could find, and it was raining.
I'll tell you why it's the honest ones who have the problem. Because they're pussies. They're too chicken shit to call out the bad ones. But without that badge, you a bitch and a half. What does that mean when you do have the badge? Oh, you're a bitch.
And the cops pulled me over while I was pedaling down the road at 1 a.m. on a girl's pink bike, and they said, "Where did you get that?" And I said, "It's my sister's." and then he said, "Come on, man, be honest. Are you lying?" And I was like, "All right, I stole it." And then he fucking arrested me, fucking asshole.
That's entrapment.
I also want to make another serious point, which is this.
Wait.
It's people might think, okay, like, but legal system worked out, I'll tell the truth. If the choice you're facing is to plea and get 3 years in jail or roll the dice with 12 on a jury and possibly look at 40, a lot of you would take the 3. I probably would.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about with those interrogations is you're forcing that person into a situation where it's 3 versus life. And of course, you're going to admit to being guilty to something you didn't do because the alternative is much, much worse.
Hold on. So you're kind of pigeonholing the argument. When it's an agreement for a plea,
It's coercion of a contract that you're not a part of. You're really not a part of it. Yes, you could say your attorney is working on your behalf, but say you didn't do something, but you just don't have the time, the energy, or the money to defend yourself. I mean, what would you do? I mean, cop a plea, say you're guilty, be convicted and sentenced to 3 years on that deal. You're being coerced so that everything gets swept under the rug, and then you are property of the state, essentially for the rest of your life. Because, I mean, unless you're smart, which nobody, sadly to say, not very many smart people are getting busted, going down. They're pretty much fucked. Good luck trying to adjust yourself into the realities of life. You're just going to end up right back in prison. That's the whole game. It's a numbers game. Get them right back. We own them. There are success stories where people are able to use what they had in prison to better themselves, and they have an entrepreneurial mindset, I guess, and they just have common sense. I did wrong, I'm gonna try to do right. I ain't going back to jail.
That means that the defense gets all of the evidence from the prosecution. They get to go over it.
Sure.
They get to determine, hey, here's what they have to prove that you did it. And then they get to decide. That's not something that the police officer there is investigating gets to do. That's something at like the very end
But
of
point is,
justice being
the
served.
evidence is the interview is the evidence. So if you can talk your way into something, that'll be very, very hard to get out of.
Sorry, say that again.
Your story's not. If you're very nervous, and we've all been nervous being on a job interview, and maybe your story differs in some details. Now they can say, "Look, you told the cop here you go in the supermarket. Here you said they're going to 7-Eleven. You're lying. So now we got you, and you said you didn't like this person. That's motive. So listen, we could put you away for life, or we could just have you for 2 years. What's it going to be?"
You know, I actually don't think it works out that way, to be honest. The idea that in most circumstances they're going to say, aha, you confused something. In my experience, what actually happened to me is they just said, quite literally, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm going to say whatever I want.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Like the idea they're going to go, aha, I finally caught you.
Oh, they're not going to admit it.
No, but I mean, like, they don't need an excuse.
I agree.
They're just going to say, bro, I'm going to accuse you
I'm
of
trying to steel
wrongdoing.
man the cop position. Yeah, okay.
What do you got, Jason?
No, the gay cop wants to say something.
Oh, God. God, I have a question. Okay, Michael, You're a capitalist, correct?
No.
He's an anarchist.
I'm
an anarcho-capitalist.
So no, I'm not an anarcho-capitalist. So this is really that's not correct.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to pigeonhole you.
You are.
No, I'm not. I'm asking a legitimate
And I
question.
answered 2 of those questions.
And you said no.
And now we're done.
Okay.
He's an anarcho-centrist.
Would you?
I do not think capitalism is a defensible term.
Do you think that a free market is positive?
Yes.
Would you prefer a free market over anything else?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a scenario.
No.
If
I'm not speaking, I'm not answering questions from a cop.
if you're a person that has, if you're a person of sound mind and sound body, and you choose to make a business decision with all the information in front of you, how is that a bad thing? Because if I'm a police officer saying, here are your rights and here's all the information in front of you, is that not capitalism? Is that not giving you all the information that's necessary and available
I already
in
told
order
you
for you to make a choice and then you choose it?
So I literally told you I find capitalism an indefensible term, and now you're proceeding as if I'm for capitalism.
I didn't. I just asked you a question. I didn't say that that's how you thought. I said,
is that an example of capitalism? Sure. I don't know.
All right, next victim, Rolf Hendricks. Is Rolf Hendricks here? Rolf, come on down, Rolf. And don't ask us how we're doing.
All right, not 1 minute.
Yeah, start off with a
well,
wiener joke.
if I only get 1 minute, I'm going to err on the side of inclusiveness. I have a question that includes everyone. What would it take for you to adopt the complete opposite position of what you're adopting right now? Paint us a colorful picture of what it would take.
I'm a milquetoast fence sitter, so I'll go either way.
I don't know what. I don't know what the opposite of my position would be that cops aren't human beings, and I think that would take a lot for me to go to that position.
Wait, Michael, have you never Have you never been in like a dark alley or something and you see like 5 black dudes and you wish there was a cop there? Like, have you ever been in a situation where you want a cop there?
Statistically speaking.
I grew up in New York.
Yeah,
so I remember New York before Giuliani. And what happened is it wouldn't be necessarily black people. It was also Hispanics.
Yeah, there's also white people can make around.
No, I didn't say white. I said Hispanic. It was black and come on, don't put words in my mouth, officer. Point being, yes, there are things that are worse than the police. Like I said, cops are human beings. They're not the worst thing ever. Certainly, like gangs, which can roam around with impunity, are much worse than the police. But the police are just a different type of gang. They're a gang you approve of.
So let me ask you this from the audience member's question: what degree of violence or crime, or what in society would make you say, you know what? I want a police force out in full force.
I want a lot more security. I think our system is a very poor way of getting there. So that's all I'm saying.
Is the question, you think there is, an honest question, there is no circumstance where you would want the police?
There are many cases I would want the police, because the police are creating a situation where they're the only answer. For example, if you kidnap me and you give me food, yeah, I want your food.
I understand. The question is there a circumstance where you would agree, you know what, because something has happened, I want the government to institute a police department. Let's say there's no police at all. Could something happen where you say we should establish a police force? Like a monopolistic government.
Sure, like if there's some kind of like war, like we're just leaving war, like Germany's bombed out at the end of World War II, right? People are stealing food, there's no whatever. If in that emergency situation, like, all right, we're going to have a mandated some kind of insane security system, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Well, that would be martial law, wouldn't it? We already have that. If you could place it, you would place martial law.
All right, sit your ass down. Next person, Denzel Wright is.
Just remember, without the police, you could defend yourself against those faggots from Antifa and BLM and those violent BLM. With the police, they protect those faggots from Antifa and BLM. Oh, and they enforce you to make sure you stand 6 feet apart for a couple weeks, and then 2 weeks after that, and then 2 weeks after that, while wearing a mask outside in a park. Fuck the police. I'll defend myself. And I think most people watching this would be the same way. You would rather defend yourself. And most people that would defend themselves would want to cooperate and be polite and respectful to other people. So you don't always have to defend yourself and stand on shards of glass.
Denzel Wright here. Come on down, Denzel. I like this. Very urban sounding name.
Denzel, when you grab the mic, you need to do a Denzel Washington impression right away. I want you to say, "Get your hands off me."
So I got a
He's
quick
not.
question. What are your thoughts on ICE and what if we didn't have ICE to be sending the big booty Latinas to Alligator Alcatraz?
Well, don't you? I feel like you would support federalized government in some aspect of protecting borders.
Why do you feel the constant need to ascribe views to me?
I'm asking. I'm saying, would you? I feel like I'm saying.
Can you
me.
answer my question?
What's that?
Why do you feel the constant need to ascribe views to me?
Because I don't know what you think about things. I want to ask you questions to see how you think.
But you're framing it in such a way that you're presuming my answer. That's
Well,
the
I
issue.
said I feel. That's why I said I feel that
Okay.
this might be something, and you can dispute it.
Sure, but your feelings are the problem because when cops are implementing
Oh
the
my
law
God.
and they're having a bad day, they're going to take their feelings out on the side of your head.
Facts don't care about your feelings, folks.
Mr. Malice, do you support ICE?
I think having open borders is disastrous for America. Yeah.
So,
however, I'm going to say one more point. I had Owen Schroyer on my show, and this is Owen's words, not mine. And Owen went to jail he's one of the January 6th martyrs. He's hardly on the left, and his whole point is, if you have someone here who's been working on a farm for like 20 years, like this is not my priority to take them and deport them. And he goes, this is going to backfire really bad on the Republican Party. And I don't think he's entirely wrong. I think the bigger issue...
That's why big booty Latinas get to stay, right?
No, I think the bigger issue, instead of the illegal immigrants, is birthright citizenship. That's what's attracting people
But
to come here.
so let me ask you this question. Should we have a privatized immigration enforcement system?
It would be more effective, don't you think?
So, but is that yes? Like each local jurisdiction
Who do you mean
will...
by we?
Should the people who live in various communities upon themselves create private enterprise that would be supported by individuals who would subscribe to that service to go to businesses and go to homes and take people who are here illegally and deport them?
No, I don't think it should be done in a community because that's not going to be effective, right? Because if my
private businesses.
But my point is, if it's
and
like
then people have to pay for it.
Right, but my point is, if they're just looking at Austin, and I know that they're going to be bad in Austin as an illegal immigrant, I'm just going to go to San Antonio or somewhere else. So unless it's some kind of federal border thing, it's really going to have an insane amount of loopholes.
So should the people then, should there be some federal jurisdiction, like
There has to
federal
be. There has to
federal private companies that do immigration enforcement? Who pays for it? Like who's the customer?
If you're going to have a national government, you're going to have some taxation to find.
In your view, with no police, and we want to enforce immigration.
No. In my view, there's just no government police. There's still private police. Right?
Agreed.
Okay,
Agreed.
yeah.
So in this system of private police,
But the thing is, in my view, there's no birthright citizenship. Everything's private. A lot of these issues are kind of fall by the wayside because you could hire and fire whoever you want, and
even if they just walked across the border, then
right.
So there'd be tons of people who weren't from here just coming here without any laws.
But also, there'll be tons of people who aren't getting free welfare. They're not getting free schooling. They're not getting driver's licenses. They're not getting all these other things. So the number of people who come here, the problems with the immigrants isn't necessarily like that stereotypical guy who's like outside Home Depot wants a job.
So
it's the people who are just here to be on the dole and then to raise their kids to vote Democrat.
So in this system where currently polling shows that most people, and this is across the board, even CNN finds this, want illegal immigrants deported.
Sure, and I'm not against that.
Who is the customer base to hire a private immigration company?
So I don't know that would work in a private mechanism. Because,
So then how
hold
does-
on, let me finish. Because there's not any individual who's the victim, right?
Agreed.
So if if you get killed and you have like a private security, they're going to track down your killer. But this is something that's a societal issue, so it has to be handled societally.
So if you have a system where law enforcement is privatized, everybody, or I should say in the majority of the country, most people are like, we all agree these people shouldn't be here. Unfortunately, there's no mechanism by which the market...
I don't think I'm going to disagree with you slightly. There's something called revealed preferences, right? So people might say, I'm for this issue, but as soon as they see that footage on TV, all of a sudden they're against it. So people speak out of both minds on many issues. So ostensibly, people are against deporting illegal immigrants, but when they see that grandma on TV, all of a sudden, no.
Okay, so in this hypothetical scenario where everybody agrees, people who enter here illegally or in violation of the will of the market and the community, we want them removed. It doesn't sound like you can do it.
Well, it's also that there wouldn't really be a problem.
It doesn't matter if there's a problem. It matters with we're all here right now and we're like, hey, we got to throw this guy out, but no one can do it. This guy's here heckling.
I didn't say no one could do it.
How? If
right now,
who could either?
Who's the customer? Who pays for it?
Wait, if you want to get somebody out of this place, anyone can do it.
So in this system, then it would just be incumbent upon the citizenry to be like, we're going to go out and we're going to grab people and remove them.
But I don't think there'll be that many people to remove.
That's not the argument. That's not the question.
Can I finish?
No, because you're
Real
changing.
quick, Amber
you're changing,
Duke, come
hold
on down,
hold
Amber Duke.
The question I have is, right now, The perception is illegal immigrants shouldn't be here. If
That's
it was
not the perception.
okay, a hypothetical scenario where
Oh
people
my God,
don't want
can you arrest
illegal
him?
immigrants here, how do you enforce it if there's no customer base? There can be no private solution in that regard.
What about Batman?
jobs.
A bunch of vigilantes.
There's different kinds of illegal immigrants. So these kind of questions conflate different things, right? So it does matter because people are certainly willing to put resources to someone who's a member of a gang, but they might ostensibly be for get rid of that grandma.
So
but then,
in-
but you have to let me finish.
But I've asked you a very specific question. You will not answer.
Correct, I won't.
You won't. So I guess
won't.
I win the debate.
You win the debate.
There we
Tim
go.
wins the
Okay,
debate. Give it up for Tim Pool. All right, guys. Frequent Timcast guest, the one, the only Amber Duke, and I wanted Amber to come up here because Rich won.
The real winner is all of you. You all won. And free Joe Exotic.
One thing we can admit, like, women cops suck, right? You can admit that.
I call for eliminating female cops this week. And culture calls them girl cops, which is appropriately demeaning. I
Lady
think.
cops.
It's always,
yeah, lady
it's always a
cops.
woman that'll always take another woman down.
Or jealous
She's
bitches.
like, she's got authority over me.
Was that your question, Amber?
No, my question is on the point about the good cops who follow orders being the problem more so than the politicians.
No, more so than the bad cops.
Well, more so than the bad cops. Okay,
yes, not
so-
more so than the politicians, please.
Okay,
No.
fair. Yeah, because I mean, I guess my point then, rather than my question, would be that politicians and the elected officials who make the laws or the DAs who decide to prosecute are the much bigger problem, because if you use the analogy of the deep state, right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right? The issue is that we would say people who are unelected bureaucrats who don't follow what the Trump administration wants to do, for example, are the problem. And the people who would follow what the Trump administration wants to do are the ones who are the good ones. But for some reason, in your opinion, when we elect politicians or we elect DAs, suddenly the cops who follow what the people elected to do are the issue.
No, they're part of the issue. So as I said earlier, if I hire Tim to kill Alex, we're both at blame.
But I'm saying the majority of people elected a
I
DA.
don't care. The majority is of no relevance. Our Constitution.
But if the majority elect the president and then the unelected bureaucrats don't follow what the president did, then that's
I would have
fine
been
then.
very happy if the unelected bureaucrats defied Biden, for example. Second of all, by design, the people do not elect the president. We have an electoral college because the founding fathers were very much scared that voters would have too much power. So they elect electors, and electors elect the president. And this might be a minor issue, in your opinion or other opinion of others, but the popular vote is not the determining factor, or else we would have President Hillary, which I'm sure you wouldn't like. So what the majority want, it's first of all, it's not the majority of voters, is of no relevance when it comes to my rights. Freedom means I do what you want, not what you want, or a majority of people want.
I punched a female cop once.
That's awesome.
You know, I was going to say you looked like it, but I didn't want to be rude.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she's pretty hot.
She's not hot anymore.
It wasn't a great punch. I was really drunk.
Is that why
Hey,
you
let-
escaped Australia?
Let me finish. I don't want to.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just pretending to be an asshole. No, I was in an
Mission
alley.
accomplished.
I was in an alleyway in a street fight, and I had hair. God damn it, I hate the fucking past. But I too. Somebody pulled my hair, and I spun around and punched him, and it was a female police officer. And when she hit the deck, I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, because I didn't mean it. You know what I mean? I didn't, like if I had known, I would not have thrown that punch. But then I ran away because I got scared. I assaulted a police officer, and I hate admitting this, but she caught me. She outran me. I was drunk.
She deserved to be there.
Yeah, fuck, I had it. There's way more that came after that. I got punished pretty bad. She tripped me over. I fell on the ground. Then she got me up against the wall, and she put handcuffs, my hands above my head, and she kneed me in the butt, and it made my balls hit the wall.
Yeah.
And then when my balls hit the wall, it made me lean forward and headbutt the wall. So it was a fucking sweet combo that she gave me. And then when I went to jail, all the other police officers, they put handcuffs around the back of my hamstrings, so I was on my face and on my knees on the ground. And then she beat me up with a baton for a while. Yeah.
You said it was a bad punch, right? If
Yeah.
it were a male cop, they wouldn't have hit the deck.
You got the wrong guy. Anyway. But then they let me out the next day because I was a foreigner or whatever, and they didn't like pick.
This is in America?
Yeah, San Diego.
Fucking 1992? Holy shit.
I'm fucking 53. I think it was 92, actually. But then I remember with no driving, no car, no tax, no money, so we walked back to Mission Beach, and a homeless guy pissed himself in the cell, so I slept in his piss. So then when I was walking back down the freeway, his pee was in between my legs. I got crazy chafe, so I started walking like a crab for like 5 miles. I was walking sideways. I never hit another woman ever again.
There you go. All right, Armand Gupta, come on down. Come up to the mic. Where's Armand Gupta? Sanjay's son is here. We're not going to give you asshole. All right, come on.
That was a good story of a woman holding her own and fucking you up a little bit.
I was impressed, man.
I would have been.
Yeah,
I probably would have asked her to marry me.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
she
Michael.
didn't know. She would have said no.
Who's talking?
To me.
Armand.
Oh,
It's me
I got you.
I can't
Armand,
see shit with
you
these
got
glasses.
1 minute, Armand.
I have a question. So, do you think that if you had private security forces or private police forces, would those be non-human or human as well?
We asked this already, but
Yeah, we asked about cyborgs.
I'm asking. If we asked it, let's keep going.
I think
would they be human?
They depend on the market.
of course, the Indian guy wants to talk about AI, dude. What is your deal? Like, this isn't a ChatGPT session.
My
What-
challenge with your argument is mainly that you're saying that because humans can do evil things, that police can do evil things. But even in a privatized world,
Shut
would
up.
not it still be humans that are doing evil things?
No, what I think what you're referring to what. Okay.
Wait,
that's Richie Jackson.
I think what you're referring to is my point being that when you become a cop, you give
Hand all decisions back to the marketplace, that being the people, and you de-incentivize private security individuals from doing what the police are effectively able to do because of their unaccountability clauses, such as qualified immunity. So in order to de-incentivize fraud and abuse and violence and violation of human dignity, individual rights, the marketplace can dictate. Give people competition, give people choice in their manner of whom they want to do business with. And you would have, it's not going to be perfect. It wouldn't be perfect, but you would have a much better system in place than to have a public monopoly on violence, which is going to commit violence. Accountability.
up your conscience because you're there to obey the orders of sociopaths above you.
Do you
And
think?
that,
Do you think contracts should be?
Can I finish?
No.
Can he finish?
Do you think?
Can he finish?
What
No,
is
no,
going
no,
on?
no, no. He said he would be unreasonable. So just
Oh.
because you talk a lot, and that's okay. But I think some of these questions can be answered a little shortly. Do you think that
I do
contract-
everything
if
shortly.
two-
I'm 4'11".
If two people, if two people, my mom's also 4'11". If
I
two
am your
pe-
mom.
If
And let me tell you,
it's nice to
I
meet
am
you.
not proud. I
if
had
two
that
people
knitting
sign-
needle up there for weeks.
If two people sign a contract, and one of the and in that contract they sign away some of their own agency to some other organization, would that not be the same thing as police officers joining of the police force and signing away some of their agency?
That's a great question. I'll answer your question. The point is, with any contract, including the police employment, you can walk as long as you're
So?
because as long as you're staying there and saying, I'm going to turn off my conscience and do whatever this person tells you, right or wrong, that is something that makes you, on some level, immoral.
That's actually, but that's not true. If like let's say that what emerges in this private market system is they say, listen, we can't sustain a business off of at-will contracts, so we require a 1-year commitment.
Sure,
in any
but
contract.
any contract's going to have some kind of consequence for you to walk, right?
Right.
The military, for example, you can't really walk, you go to jail. So at a certain point, everyone who has a conscience is like, okay, go out and shoot those kids in the head. Fuck it, I'll take the fine.
Dude, how many cops are going out there and just randomly shooting people in the head?
It's not random. They're following
No.
orders to do so. The book called
Give
Ordinary
me an
Men-
example
the-
of us following orders to shoot somebody. in the
There's
head.
a great
female
book. It's
cop.
hold on,
Every
hold
female
on.
cop.
The book is called Ordinary Men, and then they're rounding
About
up.
World War II, America. We're in America.
It could never.
That is a good book. That is a great book recommendation. Ordinary Men. Read it. or listen to it. Copy.
Never happened here because cops aren't human beings.
Well, then give
right?
me an example.
On the point about private security potentially replacing cops, I think all agreed that there's a problem with tickets, for example, when you're driving erratically, disproportionately affecting lower income people. Would a private security force not disproportionately impact lower income people because they wouldn't have the funds to hire the best security?
I'm going to answer his question earlier because I think that's much more, and I'll get to yours.
That's a good question.
Yes, in America, there have not been examples of cops rounding up and killing people, thank God, killing kids. My point being, I don't think that the Polish mind or the German mind or any other country's mind is that radically different from, God help us, from how American people operate, number one.
But can you show that having a private police force would be somehow better than what we have currently? Because all you've done is criticize the police that we have in this country. You haven't shown at all that a private police force would somehow be better. Do you have an example? Do you have any data? What do you think would? How could you prove that would be actually possible? Say that again.
As I opened this entire debate, I'm not here to advocate for or change people's minds about private police. I'm just hoping you all understand that when you talk to the police, it is a mistake, and they are not there to help you. They are there to hurt you. As for a private police force, we can see this very easily in other circumstances because you're going to have much more accountability. It is much.
Thank you, Richard.
All right, Armand, thank you. Make sure to send him all the Bobs and Vagine he can handle. Now, next one, Shane Wilder. Is that it? Shane? I know you're out there, Shane. Come on. Let's go, Shane. We're going to get this on Twitter ASAP. All right. There we go. What do you got for us?
And first, I need to correct you. It's Attorney Mean General Shane H. Wilder, motherfucker.
Wait. Do you want me to come over here and kick your ass, dude? I mean, what do you...
I mean, you can try.
Oh!
Sounds like he'll do it.
Fuck.
Okay, what do you got for us?
All right.
General Shane J. Wilder, or whatever the fuck.
Where
your name
the
is.
fuck did you get
Meme
Shane?
Lord, whatever, dude.
King Queen.
Virgin is what you should call yourself.
How you doing, Shane?
We can all agree that there are good and bad police, and a lot of us have seen both. But is the answer to do away with police in favor of private security or rework the police system? For example, make it easier to fire a cop for not doing their job, which in the end is to uphold and protect the Constitution. Because if police are human, then so are private security. If some cop can be a feckless cunt, what is stopping private security guard?
That's a great question, Kermit the Frog. Thank you.
And he's right, though. I mean,
That's a great question. I absolutely agree with that question. It's a great question. You're going to always have murderers, rapists, robbers, burglars. Anyone who argues otherwise is talking out of his ass. There's always going to be evil people or even crazy people. Point is, are you going to have a system where there's accountability? And when you have any monopoly on any product or service, the people who are delivering that product or service are not going to be held accountable. So I would also be happy what you said. If they're even within the system that we have, there'll be more accountability for the cops that exist.
okay, who's the retard talking like that? Come up. Oh, that is Richie. Richie, you want to say something? There's a microphone so we can hear you, so the people that watch this later can actually hear it instead of just. Make it louder, though. All right, Richie. Thank you.
Nobody
now
can hear you.
we can't hear you, Richie. There's no microphone to pick up your audio, so it's a waste of time. Okay, now, all right, Shane. Thank you. Rick Hodgson, is Rick Hodgson here? Rick, is Rick here? All right, Rick. I see his ass right there. Real cute. He's not here. Okay.
There's a lot of Richards in this room. I can feel it.
There's a lot of dicks and Ricks. All right, Rick. What do you got for us?
Want to say happy 19th anniversary to my wife, Kate.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
And kind of think the discussion of there not being a whole lot of humans in the police force coming up here pretty soon is something that we need to start thinking about.
What?
He means robots.
Dude, if those robots
AI.
are like those Postmate on wheel things, I will fuck that cop up, son.
You said that
You wanna
about the
start a
lady cop.
gang?
That's not what happened.
I
thinking
was drunk.
more-
Fuck you, man.
RoboCop.
I'll start a scooter gang with you any day.
Man, you really are gay, huh?
Yes. All right, go sit down. Let's try to get through some names. We only got 10 minutes left. Caleb Wright. Caleb Wright, come on down. Where's Caleb Wright? You here?
Why are
Caleb?
scooters gay? You didn't see the cops on like those two-wheeler like things? That was
Segways?
gay.
Wait, there was cops on two-wheeler things?
Segways. Segways. You ever see the cops on Segways?
I was in the movie Paul Bart Mall Cop. I'm aware.
Subtle
Oh,
flex.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you get...
That's my fucking claim to fame now, I just realized. That's awesome.
All right, what do you got for us, Caleb?
So my main thing is about to Michael Malice on you are completely against cops.
No.
Correct?
He just thinks that we're human and that we'll fail and therefore we should go away.
And they'll enforce, whatever order they're told, even if it's immoral.
Unlike a robot who won't do exactly what is programmed.
It's amazing how freely you are putting words in my mouth. And again, I don't care about this debate, but keep this in mind if you're ever talking to a cop or faced with a crime. That's all I want you all to take away from tonight. Go ahead.
But just as cops are still human, humans are also cops.
If you're ever in any interaction with the police, shut the fuck up. They ask you a question, shut the fuck up. You have the right to remain silent. Shut the fuck up.
These are people who have gone through trainings, and those trainings haven't been updated, and that they should be updated for increased responsibilities and increased actions for their authorities.
What makes you say the trainings haven't been updated?
That's a
trainings
really
haven't
good
been
point.
updated.
I don't think that's true.
You said they have been. You said
He said
have
they
been?
haven't
Well, if they have been
updated.
updated, they're not doing the training. 'cause
They're not
they're
doing
not
the
very
trainings
good at it.
properly.
I think they are doing good. Honestly, I think I'm going to take the cop side in this one. If you watch the police body cam footage, a lot of times, even though in any other situation they'd be knocking the person out, they're de-escalating and they're talking to someone who's complete trash and be like, sir. You see it.
I want to address this to Rich. And when that guy, there was a guy who went to Midtown Manhattan and shot up his office place. When he came downstairs, NYC cops started shooting wildly at him, and they missed and hit 7 bystanders. And the story that emerged was that the officers in New York were getting the bare minimum training because the city had decided if the cost of lawsuits are lower than the cost of training, they would prefer the lawsuits instead.
All right, so I'll give you some real talk here about police range shooting since I was a range officer for my department. So one, NYPD has different Glock setups than everybody else. They have a 10+ pound trigger addition. So normally a Glock is like 7 to 5 pound trigger pull. They have one so it adds an additional 5 pounds. If you do that to somebody, which most cops are, someone that gets 1 day of training that shoots their whatever it is qualification for their department, that's not training. That's just qualification. So you get officers that don't train, that only do qualification. Now they have a heavier trigger squeeze. And for everybody that knows anything about guns, the heavier a trigger squeeze is on a pistol, the firmer you have to grip it, right? So you're sitting there pulling back 10, 15 pounds, and if you've got a weak wrist and low or no training other than qualification, you're either going to push the pistol to the left or pull it to the right.
Man, if
which
you've had
means-
1 day of training, it doesn't matter what kind of gun you got, you're not going to hit the shot with a handgun.
Correct.
That
You
takes
gotta
a
be
lot
close.
of practice.
Yeah. You got to be close. So what NYC used to be the pinnacle of police training. Every department would look at them because they're the largest city in the States, and they've got the largest department, like 40 or 70,000 officers, and they would say, what are they doing right, and let's do it. And one of the things that they see from New York State or New York City and what they're doing wrong is the additional pound on the trigger. Is there fear, I would say, or a logical fear of training on a firearm because they don't want them to use it. It's almost like an intentional neglect on firearm training. So then the officers aren't good at using it. Therefore, they're fearful of using it. So now they don't use it. And then what happens? People that actually need lethal force are either hurt in the crossfire, are either not being protected and lose their lives because the individual that's attacking them is not being stopped appropriately. And you can go down the list from there.
Wow, private police Must be the answer, I guess.
Nah, I don't know about that. All right, Matt Parker. We only got enough time for about one or two more people. So
Honestly,
Matt Parker, come on
honestly,
down.
the answer would have been gun proliferation in that building. If there are more people in that building who had guns, or Uvalde, these other places. In Uvalde, the parents were ready to go in there and save their kids, and the cops held them back.
Do you think, real quick though, do you think there should be, if we allow for guns in places like New York, should they require bullets to say be frangible or something like that?
What do you mean by frangible?
Frangibles, frangible bullets are fucking something weird.
They would break instead of over penetrating.
Oh, you mean like a less deadly like bullet?
No. They would shatter and hit the wall instead of going through and going into another room.
I'm not qualified to answer that question.
All right, what do you got for us? I think this might be our last speaker. So what do you got for us? Make it something good. And guys, thank you to everybody that came up here, and thank you guys for coming out here tonight. Seriously, I know Tim appreciates it, and a big shout out to the club that they got it accidentally canceled, but then they brought it back. So we love the DC Comedy Live. It was just a misunderstanding. But what do you got for us?
My question, I guess, would be for Michael. So how would you, in the instance of having all these private security in place of police, how would you handle large, like, organized
I can't
crime?
hear you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
All right, it's not over yet, guys. Shut the fuck up in the back just for 5 more minutes. Thank you.
Sure. All right, so how would I handle organized crime, right?
How would that address large organized crime? Because
Yeah, so one of the big issues that organized crime starts to begin with is black markets, right? We saw this very quickly in America. What happened with the rise of the mafia was prohibition. And after a while, they started shooting enough cops that the cops were like, I'm not enforcing this law, and they repealed the law. So if you have things like increased, you see in Colorado, right? If you have this kind of gang take over an apartment building and you have a community where everyone's armed, everyone has this sense of community, very quickly it's going to have to be, someone's going to have to be violent at some point. Right now, it's just kind of the cops are going to come in. Otherwise, it would be much harder to come in to begin with. But there's no easy, anyone who tells you there's an easy answer when you have a large population with weapons who are intent on doing you harm, there's no one sense to answer this in any situation.
So if somebody has to go in there and they have to be violent, wouldn't you prefer to be a police officer that's held liable by the community instead of a bunch of individuals that can do it without any sort of use of force
For
training?
1 day of gun training? No.
Where I disagree with you is I don't think cops are ever held liable.
I agree. With no training, very little training, bunch of dumbasses who can't even hold their pistol right. Nah, I'm good, man. I'd rather go in there, guns blazing myself. Let the good Lord protect me. Whatever happens, happens. I'd rather go out defending me, myself, and my own, doing good for my community, than to wait for 3 hours while this gang of, what were they? They were talking about the Venezuelan gang. These gang of spics, are murdering, extorting, and raping. I'd rather my community be able to be armed and be able to protect themselves, and then they can live peaceably, left the fuck alone, because they don't have to look behind their back between the law that wants to put them away and the criminals that want to kill them. That's how you get anarcho-tyranny, is when you listen to the state. Well, the law that the state dictates ends up harming those that they say are there to protect, because it only helps the criminal.
Or else all those cops who killed all those dogs would be rotting in jail right now.
All right, guys, that has been the Culture War Live. Now, Amber Duke, starting with you, everybody, shout out where people can find you and support you.
I saved this event. People don't know.
She wrote about it. She covered the story.
And I think that's about it. It's basically done. No need for their outro. Thank you for tuning in. What do y'all think? Say your piece. Drop a comment down below over on YouTube, Rumble, Last Minute Chats, or underneath the video on X. What do you think? Where do we stand in our society and our culture today with the police? Good thing, bad thing? How can we fix the system that we have in order to benefit society? Could we go the way of the market with more competitive, necessity. I mean, there's really no easy way to answer this, because human beings are human beings. But what is the best way to incentivize human beings to be human beings? Be stewards of their creation and of other people, to benefit off of each other in cooperation. How do we get to a scenario where we can peacefully unite on such a controversial issue? Thank you for joining us. For those that were here at the very beginning, I hope you enjoyed the music at the very beginning. Andrew will be back on Wednesday for Crypto Wednesday. And pray for him. Wish him well. Hope that his car is not fucked up, because he had some severe car issues. So hopefully it's just a small tweak that can be fixed pretty quickly. But and if it's something major, then he's without a car again. Andrew, maybe you should just not drive. With that, have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you on Wednesday, everybody. Peace.
Bitcoin, baby. Hey, yeah, this is Bitcoin. I'm back. The king of the rap shit. I'm back in this Bitcoin, baby. I'm back in this bitch. Flossing fast cars and rolling with my clique. The king of the rap shit, the real OG. Whack ass rappers got nothing on me. Bought another Lambo, 3 hoes inside it, 10 hoes in line, ready to ride it. It's Bitcoin, bitch. Keep the track bumping. Really on the plug. I got pies in the oven. 80 years old, and your baby mama fond of me. All she wanna do is smoke my broccoli. Private jets from Rome to Ibiza. Lisa, Jenny, Julie, and Maria. Every day I gotta give thanks. I got bitcoins in the bank. Bitcoin, baby. I'm back in this bitch. Bitcoin, baby. Oh. I'm a bad motherfucker. Bitcoin, baby. The king of the rap shit. I'm back in this bitch. Axe your grandmother. Verse 2, coming with the gin and the juice. Call me a drag, spit flame in the boot. I'm hot, like a thermos full of coffee. So hot, can't get the hose off me. It's true, I got the weed card and shit. I'm smoking like a motherfucking chimney, kid. Bitches love me, my shit's never whack. Tell these motherfuckers, Bitcoin's back. Bitcoin, baby. I'm a bad motherfucker. Hey. Oh. Axe your grandmother. Surprise, motherfucker. The king of the rap shit. I'm back in this bitch. Get your hands in the air. Put your hands on the car. Put your 2 hands on the rock. Put your 2 hands on the rock. Bitcoin, baby.